Welcome back to the Cujo sound tutorial. This is Bjorn, and I'm still working on this electronic music loop tool, which we're going to work more on today. I have made here 4 loops, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement a player into our Max MSP patch so that those can be played through the Nord Modular and come out just the way I want it. I've created 4 files here, 4 loops, and how I made those loops doesn't really matter. I'm going to show you later, but these almost have the same name. It just displays that it's, let's say, it's like track 1, and it has channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to implement those to play at the same time and then do some little fiddling with them. First, of course, you got to make sure that there's sound coming out of Max MSP, and it's off, but it's the right driver, and the reason why it's set off is because then you can turn it on in the Max patch itself. It's fairly simple. We have a digital to analog converter tilt. There you go. So now we basically have an output which goes out of Max MSP into the sound card so I can hear what is going on. And what it shows here is actually that you can see that there's audio channel 1, and start is 1 and stop is 0. And an easy way to do this is that we create a toggle again, because this just sends a 1 and a 0. Now the sound is on, now the sound is off, so now we can just do whatever we want with it. And so we're gonna have to make a new here and make a gain, and this is just basically a regular fader. You can duplicate this by holding Alt and make a new one. There you go. So now we basically have 2 faders, 1 for each. We just want these to be similar, so you can go with the slider value and put it there. So whenever I turn on this one, the other one will follow it. So after this, sound is coming out of our fader here. And now we just need to put something into the fader that can come out at the same time. And we're going to do this very simply by having an object called SF play. It's fairly simple. It just runs a sound file player, but more or less, and it just plays the track that I want. An easy way to get info about all these objects, if you're in doubt of whatever one does, then you can hold Alt and click the object. And what you'll see here is that there comes up a help file. This is basically a regular Max patch just made out so that you can see everything that's going on. You can see here all the different kinds of commands you can send to SF play. And a very interesting feature here is it bangs when the file is done playing. So you can make it loop by sending the bang to itself. This tells us here that if we send the message open to the SF play object, we can choose which file we want to play. Now, and if we send 1, it'll play from the beginning to the end. Once it is done, it'll send a bang, and if we route this bang to the 1 again, then we can basically make it loop whenever it starts and stops. Okay, so let's start out by routing this to the right objects. We want channel 1 to go to the left fader, channel 2 to go to the right fader. And so we want the SF play to contain loops. Okay, so we're going to send a message named open. The shortcut for messages is M. You just press M and it comes up with a message box. Let's see here. Open. And route it to here. And then there was something about a 1 that makes it start playing. There you go. And the bang, when it's done playing, to be sent to there. And then back again. So if I click this 1, it should start playing. When it's done playing, it sends a bang back to the 1 to make it restart. So let's click open here. And choose the first loop. Turn on the audio, press play. And that works pretty well. And then when it's done looping, it basically just sends the bang back to there. So this will be looping on and on and on and on. And what I want with this tool is that I want that I want more of these SF plays to play at the same time so that I can choose which layer of the sound is to be playing right now. And I want this one, like the first file, to be like a Q file. So whenever that's done playing, everything starts over. So everything will always be tight, everything will always play together. And then I can name my files. In this case, I named them all. It's track 1 and it's loop 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then maybe I can name them for different variations, so I can call it track 1, 1 to 10 maybe. And then we have variation 1 to 10, so I can just make it go on and on and on and make random variations of this all the time. Okay, so as you saw in the beginning, we got 4 different loops. And what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this, the actual sound player, duplicate these so that we got 4 of those. And we can make it just open one of them, and this one will just start looping whenever the first file is done playing. So we can put on a bass line and other things. Now check this out. And maybe as you have noticed, there's already a problem with this because my pad file right here is not looped perfectly. It's you can clearly hear that it's starting over. So you got to make your loops endless by having fade ins and fade outs to start to finish, and they got to be really dry. You can always add effects on Max MSP instead.